I love about Worcester State is that the unity comes in so many different forms.
There's so many different people from different backgrounds, different abilities, different identities.
I have friends of all races, of all colors, and it doesn't matter who you are.
It's like we're one big family. It's amazing.
We're kind of like one community with one vision, common goals, and we come together, we work together to make those goals happen.
My path going to Worcester State, I was kind of like that quiet, shy kid, and I quickly over the past few years have evolved into a more well-spoken and outgoing individual. And I think I've really just came into who I am, and I'm extremely thankful for Worcester State for that.
Since it is a small campus and we have maybe 20 students in each class, everyone has each other's back. You're actually able to interact with the professors.
I never felt lonely, even during those crazy times, pandemic we had.
The professors were amazing because as we were adjusting, they were adjusting as well.
The faculty really helps us work towards making a place for those students in their individual identities.
That's what you expect out of it. You want people to help you get to where you want to be, and that's exactly what Worcester State's giving me.
I'm a double major. I'm in elementary education and English. I think Worcester State really prepares us. Both my parents are teachers, so without them and without the faculty, I don't think I would have all the tools I need to succeed to be a teacher. They have pushed me every step of the way, and they're the reason why I'm gonna be the great teacher that I'm gonna be one day, so yeah.
So many different opportunities are presented through this university.
I majored in computer science. I'm just excited to get into that professional world.
I think I want to work in a hospital with people with disabilities.
I do feel prepared and ready for the future.
If I had to say thanks to the faculty, this is what I would say. Thank you for having my back, and I appreciate it very much. I know it's been tough these past few years, especially with COVID going on, but it's been very helpful that you've been able to push me forward and have that connection between each other.
I just can't believe that I'm here right now. This degree isn't only for me, it's for all my family.
I made them proud, and that's the most satisfying feeling I can feel right now. It's amazing.
The sacrifices that they made and everything they had to go through, the blood, the sweat, the tears, is the reason I'm here walking across this stage. There's no other answer than that.
Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs and your Master of Ceremonies for today. It is such a pleasure to welcome our graduates and all their guests to these, the 146th commencement exercises of Worcester State University. Griffin Weber from the class of 2023 will now lead us in singing the national anthem, followed by a recording of the Worcester State University Chorale, led by Dr. Christy Nigro, singing our alma mater, which is printed on the back inside cover of your program. Please remain standing through both of these songs.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glared, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Be seated. There will be time after the conclusion of the formal exercises for celebration and picture taking, and we have engaged professional photographers who will be taking pictures of each graduate, and the graduates should have received information about ordering photos directly from the company. With Memorial Day right around the corner, I take a moment now to extend a heartfelt thank you to all veterans and service members here with us this morning. There are members of the platform party that perform a critical role for the university and for the graduating class of 2022, whom I will introduce at this time. Please stand when your name is called. Stephanie Jaguar, Student Accessibility Services Specialist and Class of 22 Advisor. Dr. Caitlin Krull, Faculty and Class of 2022 Advisor. Charles Nathaniel Bray, Class of 2022 Committee Member. Ilyasah Shabazz, Class of 2022 Member. Emily Pearl Hamparian, Class of 2022 Committee Member. Jacob David Labonte, Chair of the Class of 22 Committee. Let's give a round of applause for our platform guests. Students come to Worcester State with drive, determination, and passion. Some come with hopes of making a difference, while others sadly leave us all too soon. Please join me in a moment of silence for two students that we have lost, Emily M. Pellerin and Christian S. Barce. Thank you. As we turn to our program on this beautiful morning, there has been one change to the order of service. Due to a scheduling conflict, the Massachusetts Department of Higher Education will not be able to join us today. First on the program, to bring greetings will be Dr. Samuel O. O'Connell, President of the Worcester chapter of the Massachusetts State College Association, Massachusetts Teachers Association, and the National Education Association. And following Dr. O'Connell will be Mary Ann Hammond, Class of 69 and 72, Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees, Worcester State University, to bring greetings on behalf of the board. After Ms. Hammond will be Jacob Labonte, Chair of the Class of 2022, with the Senior Class Address.
Thank you, Provost Wims. Greetings, everyone. Today we celebrate the effort, determination, and sacrifices our student honorees have made to reach this point in their academic career. In celebrating our students, as president of the Worcester chapter of the Massachusetts State College Association, I would like to take a moment to recognize the work of the faculty, full and part-time at the university. Their dedication and ingenuity, particularly these last 2 years, have provided the support, resources, and academic training our students needed to make it to the ceremony today. So on behalf of the faculty of Worcester State University, congratulations.
Good morning. I'm Mary Ann Hammond, Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees. I am joined here this morning with my fellow board members, and I'd like you to meet them. As I call your name, please stand. Vice Chair Marina Taylor. David Tuttle, class of 2001. William Mosley. Karen LaFond. Dina Nichols. Our student trustee, Anna Johnson, class of 2022. Lawrence Sasso, class of 1990 and 2013. Lisa Colombo, class of 1987. Alita Fazzone. And Stephen Madaus, the chair, who cannot be with us today. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I congratulate you all. As trustees, we care deeply about the experience of our students, and we feel privileged to be able to share with you in this special day. If we have done our job correctly, this university has given you the opportunity to learn well, to grow, and to reach your potential. Because you are here today, it is clear that you have seized the opportunity. We also recognize that success and achievements like this are not accomplished without support of friends, family, extended family members, and professors. So, what I'd like you to do now is see if you can find somebody in the audience and you'd like to give them a thumbs up or a wave of gratitude. It may take you a while to fully comprehend the significance of this accomplishment, but let me assure you that this ceremony is more than a tradition. It's a vital milestone in your life. It has changed you forever, and you will always remember it. Again, congratulations.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Jacob Labonte, and I'm honored to be the chair of such a strong and resilient class. Roughly 4 years ago, I stood in a similar situation at my high school graduation in front of a class of no more than 100 students, where I knew everything about everyone. However, as I stand in front of you all today, a class of over 900 students, this is no longer the case. As for many, I have not yet had the pleasure of meeting and getting to know. I may not know you all, and we may have all taken unique paths to get where we are today. But what I do know about everyone here is that we now and forever will have one thing in common. We are all graduates of the class of 2022 from Worcester State University. Let's take a second to appreciate this moment, the moment of us in our cap and gown, excited, hopeful, and relieved that we made it to this day. But let's not forget to appreciate and remember the path you took to get here today. When you reflect back on yourself from before starting your college journey, your goals and dreams likely have changed and evolved over the years, better reflecting the person you have become. When I was entering college, my plan was not to drink, to find a girlfriend, to earn a degree in biology, to become a veterinarian. 4 goals. And after 4 years, I can say only one of those things was accomplished. These past few years, I was an active participant in Thirsty Thursdays. However, that did contribute to me making several memorable and not so memorable nights with friends. And after some self-reflection and acceptance, I'm no longer straight, so no girlfriend. So no girlfriend, but I do have a boyfriend, so the right idea, just poor execution. And after a poor experience with a monkey and their feces, I no longer want to be a veterinarian. But hey, today I did earn that degree in biology. So while things did not go exactly according to my plan, and the unexpected changes and results have allowed me to evolve, grow, and become my true self. So while many of us, including myself, may not have followed through with our original plans or met the expectations of our past selves, it's those changes that have led to who we are today. The exceptional accomplished person you have become is due to those changes. So while we look ahead to our next steps, keep in mind that things may not always go according to plan. So try not to fear change and unexpected opportunities. It may just be what you need. With the changes and experiences we've encountered over the years, our answer to the question, what do you want to do when you're older, has likely changed. This question has plagued me my entire life, and I'm sure that same question has plagued most, if not all of you. It's the question that stresses us out at family functions and keeps us up late at night. When we were younger, we likely had unweathered hope and ambition with the belief that we were capable of accomplishing anything. With the challenges of life, like a global pandemic and hard lessons learned over the years, we've likely gained a greater sense of reality. This new development of reality for many comes at a loss of ambition, optimism, hope, and desire to pursue one's dreams. When in reality, our dreams are now more possible now than they ever were before. And rather than hope for them, we are now capable of taking actions towards achieving those dreams. You're more experienced, more skilled, more knowledgeable, and now college educated. The only limitation to your possibilities is your own ambition and faith. With endless possibilities for what you could do in the future, I encourage you all to ask yourselves a more important question. Instead of what do you want to do, ask yourselves who do you want to be? The main difference between these questions is to do versus to be. The expected answers to the first question could be job title, company name, maybe a salary. While answers for who do you want to be include states of being and internal qualities which require a little deeper digging and self-reflection to figure out. Once you have an idea of who you want to be, you may as well have a better idea of what you want to do. Pursuing a career that is in alignment with who you are trying to be will bring you greater satisfaction and fulfillment. Inevitably, who you decide to be will be significantly more important than what you choose to do. So before we take our next steps forward, I challenge you all to ask yourselves, who do you want to be? And to be adaptable and open to changes and new possibilities. I wish you all good luck on your next steps and future endeavors towards becoming your true selves. I am excited to see who you all become. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2022.
Thank you so much, Jacob, for those words of inspiration. Our next speaker is our keynote speaker of the morning, followed by President Barry Maloney with his remarks. It gives me indeed the greatest pleasure to welcome and introduce our 146th commencement speaker, Ms. Ilyasah Shabazz. Ms. Shabazz is an accomplished writer, producer, and an adjunct professor at the John Jay College of Criminal Justice in New York City. She is the daughter of Malcolm X and Dr. Betty Shabazz. Please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Ms. Shabazz, to the podium.
Good morning, Worcester State University. Good morning, good morning, good morning. As the daughter of Malcolm X and Dr. Betty Shabazz, it is my honor to participate in the 146th Undergraduate Commencement ceremony for the class of 2022. I would like to thank Worcester State University President Barry Maloney for inviting me to be your commencement speaker. I'd also like to thank the university's Board of Trustees, faculty, administrators, and staff. Most importantly, I'd like to thank all of the students gathered here today, for making this special day possible, and for all of the hard work, dedication, and perseverance you've demonstrated to make it here today. Give yourselves a round of applause. I'd like to begin by giving praise to the Almighty, our Creator. I also give praise to our ancestors, to those who have not been properly honored in history, those whose stories have not been properly documented, to those of our ancestors who endured generational trauma and the largest forced migration of a people in the history of humanity, and yet we still stand and prosper. We are strong, we are vigilant, and we are interconnected as a human family. On February 21st, 1965, I witnessed the assassination of my father, El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz, Malcolm X. My young, pregnant mother, just a few years older than you, used her body to cover her daughters, not only to protect us from the gunfire, but also to prevent us from seeing the horrific sight before us. And though she had every right, my mother never gave in to bitterness or despair. Throughout her life, my mother never accepted no or I can't as an answer for herself. She already had her undergrad degree and her master's degree, but she further traveled once a week with 6 daughters at home to UMass and earned a PhD. And it was as if we all had our doctorate degree and not one of us daughters was over the age of 16. All the while, young Dr. Betty kept my father's essence, his love, values, and morale integral in our household. She did not want her 6 daughters to suffer from the abrupt loss of our father's presence and love. And though he was physically gone, my mother made certain her husband remained a part of our household conversations for as long as I can remember. It was only in college, when I was your age, that I began to hear the inaccurate portrayals of Malcolm X's character and life's work. I started to understand why my mother protected us from the negative depictions. She wanted his legacy and work to be accurate and accurately realized for the benefit of your generation. Imagine if in world history class, students learned that Africa was the cradle of the most advanced civilizations. Consider the kingdoms of Egypt, Ethiopia, and Mali. If students were taught about Egypt and Ethiopia in the same manner they've been taught about ancient Greece and Rome, we might better appreciate the beauty and magnificence of civilizations in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. We might better appreciate the significant contributions of first world nations. We would be well informed that the African continent serves as the foundation of our common humanity. It is also an opportunity to instill in our young people values of honesty, forgiveness, love, compassion, truth. At one time or another, whether out of fear of believing it not our responsibility, we have allowed injustice to perpetuate in the world around us. But I believe that education, the good, the bad, and the ugly, is the key to being woke to those very injustices. My mother, Dr. Betty Shabazz, taught me this path. She believed education is the most powerful tool to combat systemic racism. She spent the last 20 years of her life working in higher education in New York, understanding its value and ability to change lives for the better. My mother was in the system, you might say, but she knew that to overcome injustice, you have to combat it at every level. And she made sure that I received a quality education, and I follow in her footsteps as an educator. As a child, I remember Sheikh Tawfiq coming to our house every Wednesday and teaching us about the significant contributions made by women, the continent of Africa, the diaspora, indigenous first world nations, and Islam. We learned about the oneness of God and the oneness of humanity. We were taught to truly love ourselves, and we did. We never relied on others to determine our self-worth. It allows me today to see you as a reflection of me and me as a reflection of you. To love you as much as I love myself. My parents knew if I learned to love me, I can love you. If I don't love myself, I can't love you, and I will be of no help to you. When we don't learn this lesson, we get caught in a cycle of division and self-destruction. And this is likely why self-love and activism were paramount in the Shabazz household. As a young man in his 20s, my father burst onto the civil rights movement in the 1950s. The climate in America was antithetical to the humanity of African Americans. Jim Crow, Jane Crow, and separate but unequal were the written and unwritten laws of the land. The rights of African Americans were denied and under color of law. In humble submission to God, a young Malcolm X stood up and stepped forward. He was only in his 20s. And contrary to what had been written about my father, Malcolm did not enter prison illiterate and miraculously walk out as the Malcolm X. Contrary to what had been written about my father before he met Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm studied Islam with a Pakistani musician. He was a star debater on the colony's prison team, where he debated Ivy League schools, Harvard, MIT, Boston University. Malcolm studied the dictionary not because he couldn't read or write, but because he was fascinated by etymology. And he labored to become his best self, and that is exactly what he became. Malcolm X was ready for the moment. He spent years preparing morally and intellectually to become an advocate for the underserved. And my hope for you, class of 2022, is that you leverage your formative years at Worcester State University to become advocates for the voiceless and stand for those who cannot stand for themselves. You never know what the future will hold, but you must be ready for your moment. Because when that moment arrives, and I assure you it will, you must stay focused on who you're fighting for and not what you're fighting against. We must build bridges and fewer walls. Malcolm said, when we face divisiveness which tries to convince us that we must choose one over the other, we must choose to come together. I've seen the beauty of community. I've witnessed sisterhood firsthand. After my father and Dr. King were assassinated, my mother and Aunt Coretta Scott King became best of friends. Years later, Dr. Bernice King and I became sister friends as well. The Shabazz Center is inspired in part by the King Center, so we are not rivals, we are sisters. In these challenging times, we need agents of hope. Just as with the marches of the civil rights movement, the songs of the Jubilee singers, or the sit-ins of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, we too must inspire hope. It is a part of our legacy. I believe every person deserves an opportunity to know that they are worthy of love, that they are worthy of a quality education, that they're worthy of a place where they belong. Ultimately, as we lament this socio-political climate, we must also hold on to the joy that comes from generative possibility. We must also learn to engineer a new future, but to accomplish that, we need new tools. The Nobel Prize winner Rosalind Yalow said, "New truths become evident when new tools become available." Progress in quantum computing will never be made if we're forced to rely on high school computers. Well, the same applies to racial justice. Audre Lorde wrote, "The master's tool will never dismantle the master's house. They may allow us temporarily to beat him at his own game, but they will never enable us to bring about change, genuine change." And so today's innovators must be critical thinkers to create tomorrow's change. We must manifest this change ourselves. As my father said, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. My father was a visionary, spending his life fighting Jim Crow. He sought solutions to the human predicament in a nation determined to divide and conquer. He simply insisted that America live up to her promise of liberty and justice for all. In the 50s, as the young demonstrators and protesters sought civil rights, my father came along and said, "We demand our human rights as your brother. We demand our human rights as ordained by God. We are your fellow brother. We are not asking for permission to be human. Our humanity is ordained by God." And so, for the first time, Malcolm X introduced a human rights agenda to the civil rights movement. Dr. King's words still ring true. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends young people towards justice. But let's remember Malcolm's caveat: the arc of the moral universe won't bend on its own. It requires your individual and collective effort. Only together can we address and redress the wounds of corruption and oppression in our communities. Only together can we find solutions. The past few years have made us aware of our collective wounds, but we must do more to ensure that we pull out the knife of sexism, xenophobia, or racial profiling. We must do more to critique, dismantle, and reform the unjust, separate sets of rules under which America operates. America's truth and history must be taught to not only Black students, but to all students in every school and at every level. There's no American history unless each and every voice is heard on those pages of our textbooks. Black history is American history and is worthy of inclusion in our educational curriculum throughout the year. American history also includes Hispanic history, Native American history, and Asian history, and is also worthy of inclusion in our educational curriculum throughout the year. And this is the beauty of our America class of 2022, and we need you. We cannot continue to be manipulated by self-centered thinking. We must reject the idea that we can pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps. It does not work, and it never has. We must let go of divisiveness and unite around common goals to live more meaningful and purpose-driven lives. It is now your turn to take the baton to higher heights. My father said it would be this generation who would recognize that those in power have misused it and demand change. We must be united in our shared humanity and willing to do the necessary work. Our goals will be shared, our plans will be strategic, and we will be disciplined. We will strive toward greater love for one another and our community. As the activist Fannie Lou Hamer said, we are in this bag together, educated and uneducated, rich and poor, women and men, we are in this bag together. Just the other day, I read about a school district in Missouri that banned Toni Morrison's first novel, The Bluest Eye. One member who voted to ban the book said, "By all means, buy the book for your child, but I would not want this book in our school for anyone else to see it." Well, what does it say when we close our eyes and shut our ears to bigotry and injustice? What does it say about you? What does it say about your value system? Why are people so afraid of books about history and anti-racism? My father said people don't realize how a man's entire life can be changed by one book. Education has the power to bring about change, personal change, institutional change, and systemic change. So here we are, class of 2022. As you go out into the world, become lifelong learners. And no matter how much you think you know, always return to these three questions. Which books are you reading? What authors are you citing? Are you bringing receipts to your meetings? Whether in the boardroom or in the classroom, you must conduct your own research because data can bring about lasting and systemic change. My parents' lessons about education and activism are more relevant than ever. My hope for the class of 2022 is that these challenging and pressing years will produce present and future generations of problem solvers who embrace holistic approaches to human rights. Now more than ever is the time to commit to the work of radical institution building. This is our moment right now, each and every one of us, to bring about change. We can achieve real change, justice, and love when we understand that we must act together and that we must be organized and strategic together. As present and future leaders, it is our responsibility to organize community networks, stand up for those who cannot stand for themselves, and make our voices heard by any means necessary. When we understand that collective action matters more than individual action, we can dream new dreams. We can create a world that makes our communities resonate with the words of the African proverb, "If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together." And once we learn that we can only win together, we will stop focusing on what divides us in the midst of tragedies and triumphs and play that great jazz of life in the tone of love and in the blue note of justice, ever resisting the cacophonies of evil and hate. When we bear witness, choosing community over chaos, we will be empowered by the truth that each of us is a beautiful creation, destined to shine our light for the greater good. Thank you, I love you, and may God continue to bless you as you continue your ascent on this ladder called life. And please don't forget to take a moment and enjoy the view. Thank you very much.
Ms. Shabazz, one of 6 daughters born to Malcolm X and Dr. Betty Shabazz, has committed her life to education, social justice, and preserving the legacy of her parents through her professional, advocacy, and volunteer work. As a public employee for municipal government in New York, Ms. Shabazz led public relations, public affairs, special events, and cultural affairs efforts. In her work with City University of New York's Academic Affairs Office, she created curricula to encourage higher education for underserved inner-city high school dropouts, which spearheaded many of Coney's BIPOC initiatives. As a volunteer, Ms. Shabazz lends her passion and expertise to several boards. These include SOAR Higher Cabinet Committee for New Paltz College, Advisory Council for the Equal Rights Amendment Coalition, Board of Trustees for the Harlem Symphony Orchestra, and Board of Trustees as co-chairperson of the Malcolm X and Dr. Betty Shabazz Memorial and Educational Center. Ms. Shabazz transformed her gift for storytelling into a pathway to educate the next generation as a novelist. In 2002, Growing Up X, a memoir about her childhood and her personal views of her father, was nominated for an NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Literary Work Nonfiction. In 2014, the children's book Malcolm Little, The Boy Who Grew Up to Become Malcolm X, about her father's childhood, was also nominated for an NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Literary Work, Children's. In 2015, she wrote a young adult novel, X, about the same subject, which was among 10 finalists for the National Book Award for Young People's Literature, and won the NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Literary Work, Youth and Teens. Ms. Shabazz founded and produced a young adult development program whose purpose is to provide insight on social justice and encourage personal empowerment. As president and founder of the Ilyasah Shabazz Enterprises, she produces a variety of forums dedicated to power, possibility, and sovereignty. Ms. Shabazz served as a project advisor for the PBS award-winning documentary, Prince Among Slaves, the true story of Abdul Rahman, a Guinea prince who was captured and sold into slavery in the United States. She is a lifelong New Yorker residing in southern Westchester County, New York. Therefore, in recognition of your outstanding achievements in public service, education, and the arts as an award-winning author, producer, activist, and spokesperson on issues of social justice, human rights, equality, and inclusion for the residents of New York and beyond, Worcester State University confers upon you, Ilyasah Shabazz, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, presented on this day, the 14th of May, 2022, and signed by Barry M. Maloney, President, and Stephen A. Medaus, Chair, Board of Trustees, Worcester State University.
Good morning. Oh my goodness, this is your day and that's the best I got? Good morning everyone, class of 2022, congratulations, good morning. It first gives me great pleasure for the first time to say congratulations, Dr. Shabazz. Our alumni office will be in touch. If anyone had told me decades ago, and it is now decades ago, that I'd be standing here talking to all of you at a commencement ceremony, getting ready to hand out degrees and diplomas to all of you, I never would have believed them. And yet, here I am. And as our keynote speaker has talked about, we can't always see where life is going to take us. For you all, I am not sure that 3 or 4 years ago that you ever thought your college experience would include meeting your classmates' pets during Zoom class, listening to as much Dr. Anthony Fauci as you listen to anyone else in your lives who has the term doctor associated with it, learning the ins and outs of the Co-Verified app. Did everyone put in their app this morning? Did everyone put in? Starting your day on upper campus, getting a nasal swab. Those days in December, January, and February were particularly fun. Or wearing out your favorite pair of slippers. It seems that this class definitely has some stories to tell your grandchildren. In all seriousness though, COVID taught us life lessons that were not easy ones. And so many of us learned the toughest life lesson of all, how to carry on without someone you love. If I could have two superpowers, one would be time travel, and the other would be the ability to eradicate disease, so I could go back in time and remove COVID from your college experience and from the world. Its impact on our lives has been incalculable, and yet we're figuring it out. You're figuring it out. Despite all of that, you're graduating today. You got that, and you earned it. I now recognize that I was privileged to be president of Worcester State University over the past 2 years because it allowed me to see the many ways that we have come together as a community. Many took considerable risks to help others, especially during the pandemic's pre-vaccine phase. Students like nursing major Brooke Lamott, who worked as a CNA at Beth Israel Lahey as the pandemic overtook our hospitals in the early days. The one-on-one care she and so many other healthcare workers provided was personally risky. Brooke was inspired by those nurses, and today she receives her nursing degree with a concentration in women's, gender, and sexuality studies, cum laude. Our healthcare ambassadors, organized through Worcester State's Latino Education Institute, provided critical service at the height of the pandemic, bringing COVID information out into Worcester, assisting those especially whose English is not their first language. They were recognized with an award from the City of Worcester and by the CDC, and one of those students is sitting with me on stage today, Raisa Kintege. Raisa graduates today with a degree in computer science, cum laude. How about all of those students and employees who worked in the testing center? Kudos to the student affairs staff who stood up and ran the most successful vaccination clinic in the state of Massachusetts. I said the other night at nurses pinning, I think some of the student nurses who stabbed me with the vaccine, I think did it extra hard because I didn't get them parking. Or our students and staff who were involved in the drive-through food pantry that we offered in January of 21. The faculty and student volunteers, the conference and event staff, and the others, we could not have done any of that without your help. Many on-campus employees at the height of pandemic served on our front lines. Our police, for example, responded to any medical incident, and our maintainers deep cleaned our classrooms and got them back online as soon as possible after an exposure. Students and family members, if you were a grocery store worker, a restaurant worker, a hotel employee, a postal employee, you too were on the front lines, and many of you had your livelihoods disrupted. Something we in education learned, especially, is that teachers are frontline workers too. K-12, higher ed, you took risks to teach. And the Worcester State faculty, many of whom taught in-person labs or other hands-on courses in the pre-vaccine phase, you were here for our students, and we cannot thank you enough. Could I ask that our faculty who are in the back please stand to be recognized? Faculty like Professor Colleen Sullivan, who teamed with Assistant Dean and Student Success Tammy Tebow to conceptualize and run a new Lancer Learning 3-credit summer course connecting incoming first-year students to campus and working on skills that countered the impact of their disruptive COVID-era high school educational experience. And what could have been more important during the pandemic than fact-based public health information to determine what policies work best to stop the COVID spread? 2019 Alden Teaching Award winner, Professor Samak Moatari, MD, co-authored a study that appeared in a prestigious journal showing that countries without face mask mandates experienced significantly higher of COVID-19 deaths than those who had such mandates. Our presidential student ambassadors. They raised money last year and this year bought supplies and stuffed them into what they called blessing bags. They distribute them to Veterans Inc. and the Queen Street Shelter in Worcester, and they are nurturing an ethic of service on campus. As one of them, Mark Kende Paul, put it, I want to see Worcester State establish a culture on campus of helping out. Mark Kende is also the founder and president of the Haitian Student Union, and he has arranged for shipments of tents, clothing, and non-perishables to Haiti following the most recent disaster. He graduates today with a degree in liberal studies and will soon prepare to go off to medical school. Ladies and gentlemen, these students and these faculty are planting seeds that often grow fruit for someone else. I need only to think of those who've established scholarships at Worcester State to recognize our community that is once help is given back in return. One of our graduating students embodies that philosophy, adult learner Elaine Minahan, whose own story is one of survival and success. She has overcome addiction, homelessness, and food insecurity. She is a one-family scholar, a program for single parents in college, and she is giving back by advocating for college access for those who face similar issues. Today, she earns her public health degree. As Winston Churchill said, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give, and giving can take many forms. Our university is growing more leaders in service than ever before. A dozen new student organizations have been established this year alone. There are direct service organizations like WooServe and Care Cakes. You guessed it, cupcakes that are brought out to brighten other people's days. And as if COVID weren't enough of a challenge during your academic career, our entire nation has experienced tumult related to religious or cultural identities. I'm encouraged that Worcester State student leaders have been on the front lines of these struggles as well. Students initiated the Black Student Union, the Muslim Student Association, Veterans Association, the Haitian Student Union, the Drag Club, and the Asian Cultural Boba Club, which offered fun aimed at increasing acceptance and understanding. They joined longer-standing clubs in support of their constituencies and working towards positive change like the Third World Alliance and the LGBTQ Alliance, led by graduating senior, Ariana Jason. Ariana is one of our marshals today, and she is earning today a degree in occupational studies. These are student-based community organizations that are helping bridge the way for others. You collectively have done these things and gotten to this stage, and quite frankly, it is incredible. Many of those who supported others through this difficult time also leaned on others too. As Barack Obama said, asking for help isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. Remember that as you embark upon a new career or graduate school. Using all life lessons that you've learned to date, I have no doubt that you've got this, and the world is at your doorstep right now. Employers are facing perhaps the lowest unemployment rate of my lifetime. They need you and the understanding of the world that comes from our learning environment, where courses are taught by experts, but lessons are grounded in the reality of our students' lives. You know your subject matter, otherwise you wouldn't be here. You also know how to persist through difficulties, juggling many things and problem solving. Even though if you are confident that you have these abilities, you may not feel that you excel at them. And I'd say that's how I felt decades ago when I sat where you're currently sitting, looking up at my first commencement stage. I've learned that since then that striving towards perfection can be exactly what keeps you from it. As author Kurt Vonnegut has said, he didn't excel at anything as a teenager, and that he was a failure, his term, until someone told him that winning just wasn't the point. Doing things that you enjoy makes you an interesting person. As children's and civil rights leader Marian Wright Edelman has said, you're not obligated to win. You're obligated to keep trying to do the best you can do every day. And I'll close with this advice. If you are someone who feels hemmed in by the walls of perfection, striving to win in the game of life, step back. Do something you enjoy, or go help someone else in need. You just may find that you end up somewhere you never expected to be, doing something as rewarding as handing out diplomas to almost 1,000 students who've earned them. Class of 2022, congratulations, stay connected, and best wishes. We have an additional presentation today. The university has a tradition of recognizing outgoing members of the Board of Trustees. This year we have two. Will Anna Johnson and Marianne Hammond please come forward? Anna Johnson, class of 2022. Throughout her time at the university, Anna has worked with the 100 Males to College program and the early college program as a mentor. She served as a student senator at large for 2 years and has served as chair of the Third World Alliance Student Group, planning events and promoting diversity and inclusion on our campus. Anna was an intern with the Model UN Nations in Greater Boston for 2 years and recently finished an internship with Worcester County District Attorney's Office, Joseph Early. In her community, she works with the Liberian Association of Greater Worcester and is as a planning committee member and also serves as the steering committee for the Worcester World Cup. Thank you, Anna, for your service to the Board of Trustees. Congratulations on your best of luck on your future endeavors. Marianne Hammond, class of 1969 and 1972, member of the Board of Trustees from 2012 to 2022. Marianne Hammond was appointed to the Board of Trustees in October of 2012. She was elected by the Alumni Association Advisory Board as their representative. She earned her bachelor's degree and 2 master's degrees from Worcester State. That makes her, I think, you a triple Lancer. As a public educator, she served as a teacher, a health curriculum coordinator, a conflict mediation trainer and program coordinator, and assistant principal at Lake Street School and at the Wire Village School in Spencer, Massachusetts. She was elected as vice chair of the board and representative to the foundation board and serves as chair of the Human Resource Committee and the Planning and Development Committee of the board. Thank you, Marianne, for your service to the Board of Trustees. Your dedication to this institution will be sorely missed.
The George I. Alden Excellence in Teaching Award is the highest honor Worcester State bestows upon faculty. These faculty members exemplify excellence in teaching, advising, and mentoring. Would Dr. Erica Brasaco please stand? Dr. Brasaco designs and implements courses that engage students to diverse subject matters and methodologies. She exposes them to classic texts, new directions in research, and activities that provide opportunities for deep reflection. Dr. Brasaco is also passionate about mentoring undergraduate and graduate students and guiding their theses. She has been the recipient of several awards as a result of her efforts, including the Research Scholarship and Creativity Faculty Grant at Worcester State and the Worcester State Art Museum Planning Grant and a research sabbatical. Thank you so much, Dr. Brasaco. Our second recipient, Dr. Hardeep Sidhu, could not be with us today, but I would like to share with you some of his outstanding achievements. He uses his expertise to both inform and model the pursuit of authentic questions. His teaching philosophy is student-centered, discussion-based, and promotes reflection and empathy during the learning. In his courses, he challenges students to take ownership of their education through showing them respect and challenging them to take on others' perspectives and new knowledge, both seriously. He's been the recipient of several teaching awards and honors, most recently the Massachusetts Humanities Grant and an Open Educational Resources Initiatives mini grant. Now, it's the time we've all been waiting for. We will proceed with the awarding of degrees in order that we can all share in the enjoyment of this most important part of the ceremonies. I ask everyone to remain seated until all degrees are conferred and the ceremony concludes. Degrees will be presented by Trustee Hammond and other trustees and by President Maloney. The candidates for education, liberal, and interdisciplinary studies will be announced by their dean, Reynold Lewis, on your left side of the stage. Candidates from the School of Science, Technology, and Health will be announced by Dean Linda Larrabee, also on your left. And the candidates from the School of Humanities and Social Sciences will be announced by Dean Russ Pottle on the right side of the stage. A word to our graduates. Please return to your original seat after you receive your diploma. Your classmates who follow you across the stage will be most grateful. We also ask the audience to kindly hold your applause so that all may be able to hear the next graduate's name as it is called. This year, due to COVID protocols that we have instituted, students will be presenting their name card to each dean from a distance. We apologize in advance if there are any mispronunciations of your student's name. Students may choose to wear their mask while crossing the stage to receive their diploma cover. There'll be distance between the president and the student for photography purposes. Okay, here it is. Will all candidates for baccalaureate degrees please rise? President Maloney, Trustee Hammond. Yep, that means you. Okay, very good. President Maloney and Trustee Hammond, I now have the honor to present to you the candidates for baccalaureate degrees.
By the authority of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, vested in the Board of Higher Education, and by it delegated to the Board of Trustees, the President, and the faculty of this university, I am proud to confer 1,146 baccalaureate degrees.
Now announcing the graduates from biology. Iman Samari.
Now announcing graduates from business administration. Maxwell David Roth, summa cum laude.
Elise Stone, summa cum laude.
Cameron Hopkins.
Desiree Marie Anderson.
Naba H. Adula, cum laude.
Anna Elizondo.
Terence Nthutanda.
Julie Ann Carr.
Siaka A. Kroma.
Cherie Zirat Coleman.
Deborah Fuhara Masika.
Ashley No.
Austin M. Edwards.
Min Kong Luong, summa cum laude.
Erica Sukau.
Sang Lam, magna cum laude.
Caitlin E. Hickey.
Molly Zastro, cum laude.
Emma M. Rainville.
Aliyah Gabrielle Galat.
Jocelyn N. St. Ong, summa cum laude.
Lee L. Tyler, cum laude.
Eric M. Lebrasser.
Mackenzie Pratt, cum laude.
Trevor Bradley DePeron.
Diana Gordon.
Jake W. Ford.
Michael Gadd.
Campbell T. Harrington.
Anastasia Apia.
Jack L. DeConza, summa cum laude.
Ryan Bavo, cum laude.
Julia Suraiva de Silva, summa cum laude.
Ciara Johnson, cum laude.
Michelle T. Nguyen, magna cum laude.
Cassandra Pierre.
Tristan T. Tran.
Mina Abdul Razak.
Jimmy Wynn.
Alexia Dine.
Tommy Wynn.
Hussein Farouk.
Tina T. Lay.
Logan Deslets, cum laude.
Victor O. Omokonga.
Ariel Nathalie Zambello.
Wasim Belgu, cum laude.
Paige Taylor, cum laude.
Saw Ray, cum laude.
Emma McEwen.
Jonathan C. Turgeon.
Hannah McKenzie.
Sierra M. Parsley.
Meredith Martelli.
Cynthia R. Albert.
Nicole Olette, magna cum laude.
Skylar H. Alves.
Preston Carr, cum laude.
Brett Jeremiah Blackwell.
Ashley Peltier.
Brendan O'Shea.
Nicole Kaufman, cum laude.
Kyle E. Cravatis, cum laude.
Hannah Foster, cum laude.
Paul Anthony Pryor.
Rebecca Elizabeth Moore.
Sean P. Devon, magna cum laude.
Andonis Ramirez Matos.
Thomas D. DiBastia.
Megan Andrews.
William P. Ahern, cum laude.
Giovanni Dio Lumpy.
Henry W. Bruckner.
Amanda Ann Kamara.
Michael P. Mahoney.
Sophia Rose Manzi.
Timothy J. Ramstrom, cum laude.
Farah Avila.
The degree of Bachelor of Science is awarded posthumously to Christian S. Bars. Accepting the degree is his mother, Marie Smoker.
Lindsay Hebert.
Thomas K. Adams.
Hannah Marie Nolan, magna cum laude.
Partner Melick, cum laude.
Mateus Muniz Montenario, cum laude.
Matthew R. Turner.
Nicholas P. Florenza, cum laude.
Daniel W. Almeida.
Emily Cristofolini.
Ryan W. Monahan.
Diara Canton, cum laude.
Tyler L. Benjamin.
Ola Aziz.
Pratap Gurung, cum laude.
Jonathan Wykes.
Andrew Martin Faultler, summa cum laude.
Rima El Obeidi, cum laude.
Aaron H. Jones.
Mackenzie Medeiros, cum laude.
Robert S. Doig.
Carmeline Franco.
Bien Chao.
Sarah Infantino.
Nam T. Bui, cum laude.
Now announcing the graduates from biotechnology. Henry Colebrook, cum laude.
Tracy T. Du, cum laude.
Dewey Long.
Tyler J. Ohala.
Stephen Titoni.
Evan Michael Davis.
Abdul Razak Frederick.
Christian Daniel Rivera, summa cum laude.
Nat Anyen.
Konstantina Krapurakidis, summa cum laude.
Brian Lee, cum laude.
Estasia Kapukaratis, summa cum laude.
Alicia Lopez.
Veronica R. Kejust.
Jomari Rivera Almodara.
Olivia M. Rugopoulos.
Brooklyn Briner.
Michaela M. O'Sullivan.
Renzo Aldana.
Rachel Nicole Conley.
Timothy McCarthy, magna cum laude.
Emily R. Amaral, magna cum laude.
Adam Tubman, cum laude.
Sydney J. Arojo, magna cum laude.
Now announcing the graduates from chemistry. Margaret Louise Grady.
Jason R. Valley, cum laude.
New Queen Tite, summa cum laude.
Adam T. Dole.
Grace Louise Van Kirk, magna cum laude.
William J. Alexander.
Paola Dominguez.
Matthew A. Santana.
Roshana Perez.
Santo Taylor.
Tariq Bruno.
David T. Baird.
Joseph Andrew Kenny.
Nicholas Stukonis.
Sean Gavin.
Jacob C. Tomaso, magna cum laude.
Alicia Papakakis, magna cum laude.
Nancy Doe.
Alexander Circa.
Michaela Lynn Dupuy, magna cum laude.
William Keiko.
Angela Economou.
Lillian Figueroa.
Claire K. Conway.
Now announcing the graduates from Communication Sciences and Disorders. Maura Shea O'Sullivan, summa cum laude.
Cameron C. Sangster, cum laude.
Grace Elizabeth Gordon.
Mark A. Barron.
Emma Rose Hobart.
William T. Shogren.
Victoria Rigopoulos, magna cum laude.
Edward J. Dower, cum laude.
Alyssa Kirk.
Alexander W. Papagorgiou, magna cum laude.
Jasmine McDonough, magna cum laude.
James J. Hogden.
Brianna Durkin, magna cum laude.
Jacob R. Portress, cum laude.
Brianna Jubert, cum laude.
Marisabel Alejo Osoria.
Morgan Marie Mayo, cum laude.
Rebecca Rappi.
Serena Garrick.
Alexis M. Violette, magna cum laude.
Olivia Larson.
Alex A. Quintanilla.
Sonia Farragata.
Andy T. Lay.
Sierra Uras.
Danny Tran.
Abby T. Robichaud, magna cum laude.
Tyler P. Valle, cum laude.
Jasmine Tio, cum laude.
Xavier A. Facchini.
Britta Ellen McDonald, magna cum laude.
Evan R. Haynes.
Jillian M. Chippendale, magna cum laude.
Victoria Francesca McGovern.
Jessica Goslin, cum laude.
Tyler B. Spencer.
Samantha DeColi, magna cum laude.
Corey Olivier.
Emma Pendergast, summa cum laude.
Matthew A. Morrison.
Sydney Connor, cum laude.
Kara M. Parker.
Taylor Dubé.
Molly Perry.
Gabriella LeMay, cum laude.
Matthew R. Rollins.
Julia Nicole Wilson.
Leslie Carolina Santander Gonzalez.
Shayna Boyan, cum laude.
Let's go.
Haley Belanger, cum laude.
Jasmine M. Rodriguez.
Caitlin Maeve Kucher, summa cum laude.
Tyler J. Robinson.
Now announcing the graduates from Computer Science. Robin Champa, summa cum laude.
Nicholas G. Gagne.
Garrett Bosquet.
Nathaniel Virgilio Pizarro.
Lena Viraz Matevo.
Gerardo Sanchez.
Matthew Ryan Gonzalez.
Eric D. Sarasso.
Sebastian Serafin.
Serenity Nguyen.
Christian Shadis, summa cum laude.
Tim B. Goodell.
Eric Rockwood.
Mark Anthony Troiano.
Kenneth Boone.
John P. Franchi, cum laude.
Mutaza Nipawatlas, summa cum laude.
Edgardo G. Lopez.
Bien Hua, magna cum laude.
William Duane Watkins, Jr.
Michael T. Chow, cum laude.
Anthony Michael Goodney.
Jared Thomas Moore.
Charles J. Callender.
Jordan Takalas.
Nicole Mankowska, summa cum laude.
Fadi Akram. Timothy Vo.
Now announcing the graduates from communication. Allison P. Senecal, magna cum laude.
Ethan Paiva.
Eva R. Divara.
Sophia Hoda.
Ryan M. Broder.
Delise K. Daya, magna cum laude.
Jason E. Haddad.
Perniso Gifford, cum laude.
Colin P. Hanafi.
Jeremy Studley.
Otis T. Wheeler, Jr.
Jeffrey Neal.
Michael E. Kelly.
Emmanuel William Braxton.
Brandon M. Gata, magna cum laude.
Brendan Lai.
Blake E. Thorne.
Jeffrey Cotino, cum laude.
Ryan M. Fahey.
Meet S. Patel.
Madison M. Benoit.
Brian Sarmiento.
Wazima Zara.
Michael Friedrich.
Taylor Jean Walker.
Leslie Wawa.
Haley Paige Fitch.
Darren Sabu, cum laude.
Jillian Marie Torres, magna cum laude.
Sarah Garung.
Julia A. Wright, magna cum laude.
David McDonald, cum laude.
Michael Angel Cardoza.
Mohammed Jabber, cum laude.
Megan Harding, magna cum laude.
Sandesh Gurung.
Madison M. Scalar.
Hang Fo Nguyen.
Lauren L. Colinus, summa cum laude.
Andrew Sictus.
Amelia M. McCarthy.
Alexander Nelson.
Patrick D. Gallant, magna cum laude.
Ryan Tremblay.
Allison H. Balducci.
Eric Nun, magna cum laude.
Catherine M. Subkoyak.
Now announcing the graduates from Environmental Science. Andrew Simpson.
Madison J. Jacoby.
Zelion Jin, cum laude.
Gabriella R. DeAngelis, magna cum laude.
John Bossinaut.
Colin Michael Turner, cum laude.
Walter William Talbot, summa cum laude.
Chad Verlette Rowie, cum laude.
Sierra Harris.
Brandon H. Lee.
Cameron J. Kelly.
Cameron K. Elliott.
Sean R. Seeley.
Ashley Marie Hassel.
Chloe DiMarzio, cum laude.
Aaron J. Keogh.
Now announcing the graduates from Geography, Emily Costa.
Sophia E. Buapane.
Vincent Pellegrino, summa cum laude.
Andy Simnarg M.
Autumn Thibodeau.
Now announcing graduates from Criminal Justice. Sarah M. Wong-Kam, cum laude.
Now announcing the graduates from Health Education. Sarah Bassetti Burnell, summa cum laude.
Jason Martinez, cum laude.
Celine Palmatum.
Sophia Sakari, cum laude.
Megan Patricia O'Day.
Catherine E. Nordberg.
Natalie D. Gillis.
Denise Hoxa Kylie, magna cum laude.
Olivia Gail Ryan, cum laude.
Henry Hitu.
Victoria L. Alexander.
A. K. Lowe, cum laude.
Delaney K. Nato.
Esau Mata.
Kelly Marie Beverly, cum laude.
Lauren Patricia Bernard.
Aislinn M. Patterson.
Musa Shamoun.
Michael Esteban Camacho.
Timothy D. Hannon.
Now announcing the graduates from Mathematics, Dominic Bosico, magna cum laude.
Andrew C. Kinney.
Joseph F. Clark.
Jacob R. Breton.
Tan Howe.
Joseph C. Rogato.
Lauren Nicole Remis, cum laude.
Emily T. Baca.
Casey Larson.
Laura N. Cruz.
Wayne Carey.
Quentin Allen Anderson, summa cum laude.
Now announcing the graduates from Mathematics for Elementary Education, Kaylee Senecal, summa cum laude.
Brianna L. Cloutier.
Now announcing the graduates from Natural Science, Arthur Somadelis.
Matthew W. Connery. Alex A. Cataldo.
Now announcing the graduates from Nursing, Narni Achalu.
Michaela Alexis Mazer, magna cum laude.
Stella Wanganga.
Hannah Jean Mafio, magna cum laude.
Naina Selva, cum laude.
Nicholas P. Nardella.
Shahad Salem.
Afasal Alfares, magna cum laude.
Lori L. Anderson.
Ferdinand Sharali.
Carla Vanessa Rehifo, Gavinola.
John P. Shields.
Janet M. Burke, magna cum laude.
Daryl Canella.
Paige Pacheco, cum laude.
Edwin Davis Rodriguez Rivera.
Haley Flamand, cum laude.
Elizabeth Rivera Zapian.
Sarah Crusper, cum laude.
Nelissa Castillo.
Brian Sarkeesian.
Brian S. Smith.
Brina E. Carey.
Tig M. Stevenson.
Erica L. Comfort, cum laude.
Kyle J. Haley.
Olivia Patricia Brancato, cum laude.
Ashley N. Spellman.
Megan R. Mahoney, cum laude.
Johanna Pauline Herzig.
Margaret E. Gurney, summa cum laude.
Elizabeth Garzon, cum laude.
Caitlin R. Ledwith.
Alexander R. De Almeida.
Brooke K.
Magna cum laude.
Brooke K. Lamont, cum laude.
Eloisa Gabriela Mendez.
Mary Demchenko, magna cum laude.
Gladys Guardado.
Rose Grady, cum laude.
Lauren E. Kennedy, cum laude.
Kayla Marie Alvarez, cum laude.
Kelvin San Miguel Rivera, cum laude.
Erica Chahowski, cum laude.
Caitlin D. Dupre.
Josine Isabeo, cum laude.
Paige K. Zipian.
Lillian Kate Jacobson, magna cum laude.
April Teresa Pepin.
Amanda L. Cox, cum laude.
Cassandra Licori.
Marina Elise Ottaviano, cum laude.
Charlinda Pang.
Catherine M. Dawson, cum laude.
Kimberly E. Friedland.
Talia Bredes, magna cum laude.
Sayeli E. Soriano.
Miranda Bashaw, magna cum laude.
Christopher Robert Heinz, summa cum laude.
Caitlin Shalupka, magna cum laude.
Alexis Hannah Zalonka.
Amanda Ringquest, cum laude.
Adam J. Dunn, cum laude.
Shelby McMillan, cum laude.
Anhar A. Macliff.
Ariana Moray Gilarmi.
Evan Fuad Dabul, cum laude.
Eliza Gadash.
Corey W. McGrath.
Haley R. Baldwin, magna cum laude.
Matthew J. Robertson.
Quinn Ferrara, magna cum laude.
Jonathan Rodriguez, magna cum laude.
Megan Elizabeth Campbell, summa cum laude.
Leslie Cruz, magna cum laude.
Leah Fitzgerald.
Jasmine Akua Asase, cum laude.
Nina Elizabeth Bouvet, cum laude.
Yanitza Rivera.
Fiona Maeve Ware.
Callie M. Weefer, magna cum laude.
Ifnanya Chuku Akavamu.
Kevin C. Crucis.
Allison Cogswell, cum laude.
Brian R. Bliss, summa cum laude.
Kristen Ann Connolly, cum laude.
Nikarika Garg, summa cum laude.
Kaylee E. Wilcox.
Itati E. Medrano.
Isabel Bakin.
Hannah Marie Francese.
Veronica C. Dilba, magna cum laude.
Jonathan A. Luna, cum laude.
Lindsay A. King, cum laude.
Now announcing the graduates from economics. Gunther W. Stang, magna cum laude.
Emma Rudy.
Aiden P. LaRusso, cum laude.
Sarah Michelle Jacobs.
Maureen M. Maloney.
Alicia Margaret Palmer, cum laude.
Jose G. De Leon.
Ann M. Marr, cum laude.
Ahalisa Kalaya, magna cum laude.
Caitlin Caplet, cum laude.
Now announcing the graduates from English. Sarah R. Flynn, summa cum laude.
Tessa Howlett.
Emily J. Hastings, summa cum laude.
Ashley Nicole Cotting, magna cum laude.
Caitlin E. Sullivan.
Kerry J. Dowd, magna cum laude.
Deanne M. Salto.
Lucia Venetria.
Emily S. Haynes.
Catherine C. Wheeler.
Kayla R. Palmer.
Ashley E. Williams.
Sarah Elizabeth Tompkins, summa cum laude.
Haley J. McKinnon, cum
Shannon
laude.
M. Heidel.
Bethany A. Irish, cum laude.
Haley E. Dean.
Eric Gerard, cum laude.
Justine M. Giardello Pulaski.
Sydney Krupensky, cum laude.
Samantha A. Sheehan.
Shadia Afram, cum laude.
Kyle J. Powers, cum laude.
Jane Hopper.
Nicholas P. Stanton.
Hannah Alicia Crandall.
Now announcing the graduates from history. Rhiannon LaRose, summa cum laude.
Casey F. Clark.
Yanine Fuentes Diaz.
Jacqueline R. Andre.
Miriam J. Mohammed, magna cum laude.
Now announcing the graduates from Occupational Studies. Christine A. Babbitt, magna cum laude.
Mitchell R. Medina, magna cum laude.
Rebecca A. Curlino, magna cum laude.
Dallas Dorres, magna cum laude.
Sophia Carente.
Christopher C. Simanki, summa
Sarah,
cum laude.
Sarah Deslauriers, magna cum laude.
Angela M. Landino.
Victoria Donahue, cum laude.
Catherine Jordan Michelle Lavasi.
Afia Mary Donahue, summa cum laude.
Tiana Talia Shania Makowski.
Haley Joyce Lucier, magna cum laude.
Michael A. Maybe Jr.
Leah M. Kerr, magna cum laude.
Thomas P. Patch.
Carrie K. McGrath, magna cum laude.
Tyler J. Morales.
Megan Lane, summa cum laude.
Timothy J. Devereaux.
Morgan Elizabeth Ledger, magna cum laude.
Nicholas John.
Emily A. O'Neill, magna cum laude.
Jared P. Hackinson, cum laude.
Ava Pintel, magna cum laude.
Matthew J. Winnick,
Anna-
magna cum laude.
Anna J. Rembenseed Brown,
James E.
magna
Joyce.
cum laude. Carolyn Ricapero, magna cum laude.
John M. Curtis.
Jordan N. Viner, magna cum laude.
Markham R. Richter.
Sarah F. Ward, magna cum laude.
Now announcing the graduate from political science, Eric Francis Miller, summa cum laude.
Now announcing the graduates from public health, Michelle Elizabeth Bravo Moran, summa cum laude.
Now announcing the graduates from psychology, Tori E. Sosi.
Andrea Sivakova.
Olivia L. Pereira.
Renuka Graberi, magna cum laude.
Joseph S. Hart, summa cum laude.
Linda Miley Toe.
Catherine R. Wagner.
Jillian Deem Twino.
Madison M. Leiden, cum laude.
Crystal Malco.
Caitlin E. Murphy, cum laude.
Dominic V. Dunbar.
Chrissa G. Boyce.
Elizabeth P. Minahan.
Kaylee S.
Elaine
Shortsleeves, magna cum
Minahan.
laude.
Hannah R. Parker, cum laude.
Shane S. Poole.
Kaylee Tavano.
Christopher T. Elliott.
Amanda Alves Lopes.
Michael C. Chavez Jr., cum laude.
Lindsay E. Guitar, magna cum laude.
Ana B. Ramirez.
Amelia Denchi.
Amber R. Lavallee.
Rachel A. Griffin, magna cum laude.
Stephanie D. Davis.
Victoria M. Hashi.
Madeline Kate Morehouse.
Hope A. Mackey.
Cassandra B. Quinlan, summa cum laude.
Lily Catherine Jarvis.
Ayisat Amibani.
Abigail Lozan.
Yala Ziaki.
Amanda Nicole LaForzi, cum laude.
Ryan R. Miller.
Gail F. Provo, cum laude.
Olivia N. Arsenal.
Shannon E. Davis, cum laude.
Elizabeth C. Niket.
Indisha G. Philibert.
Juliana C. Martinelli.
Sarah Blumgren, cum laude.
Keely R. Rancourt.
John Olivier, summa cum laude.
Diana Carolina Baez.
Elisa Maldonado.
Catherine G. Ola.
Erin
Cum laude.
Erin Slayson.
Raina Yagmore.
Gabrielle Lee DeMassimo.
Killian M. Kelly.
Eileen Janella Alcantara.
Allison Claire Langhorst, cum laude.
Jalen M. Lopez.
Brian C. Ciro, magna cum laude.
Eunice Agin Yankson.
Cheryl K. Donahue, magna cum laude.
Nahibi Lamar, cum laude.
Samantha A. Sturzo, magna cum laude.
Reeb Yeser Najar, cum laude.
Rachel Carlson Ross.
Jacqueline C. Berryman, summa cum laude.
Amber R. Dubas, magna cum laude.
Michelle Ojeda.
Emily Rose Tuchilo, magna cum laude.
Michael Bisrat.
Omia L. Phillips, magna cum laude.
Vanessa Oas Apia.
Nicholas Giovino, cum laude.
Jennifer A. Lima.
Olivia N. Renzi.
Charlotte Moline, magna cum laude.
Kyle S. Mayu, magna cum laude.
Ashley Rose Barrett.
Chloe M. O'Brien.
McDavid Rodriguez, cum laude.
Iman Hassan.
Josue Rodriguez.
Sarah Rivas.
Orlando Gomez.
Isaiah Ewings.
Mackenzie Bassett.
Widnelis Ortiz Rivera.
Alexa Faisal.
Marielis Manzueta.
Erin Masangeli, magna cum laude.
Paola M. Pabon.
Emily French, cum laude.
Jared M. Pathiakis.
Hillary Reyes.
Heather A. Deba, summa cum laude.
Cameron Staniksowski.
Jessica M. Kelly, magna cum laude.
Emily Irene Breedy, cum laude.
Abigail M. Tavares.
Deborah Alongabani.
Haley M. Linas.
Jewel Dennis.
Kyle J. Straight, cum laude.
Vivian S. Gardy, cum laude.
Janelle A. Lewis.
Owen Najironje.
Rachel M. Marsh, magna cum laude. Olivia I. Bartley.
Now announcing the graduates from early childhood education. Brianna D. Hogan.
Alicia C. Benoit, cum laude.
Michaela Ann Florio, magna cum laude.
Karen Sains.
Brooke E. Dion.
Eliana Rodriguez Acevedo, magna cum laude.
Olivia L. Copson, cum laude.
Haley Michelle Braun, magna cum laude.
Caitlin A. Day, cum laude.
Amanda E. Masillo.
Julia R. Donabet.
Sophia I. Lucas, magna cum laude.
Madeline R. Brenner.
Devin Taylor Signorini.
Zoe Milan Craner.
Samuel W. McGee.
Ellie G. Potras Cody, cum laude.
Benjamin Reed Morin, summa cum laude.
Isabel C. Johnson.
Haley N. Millett.
Kenzie Morgan Cosino.
Ethan C. Huerton, magna cum laude.
Caitlin E. Hildreth.
Catherine E. Bohm, magna cum laude.
Fialba Princer.
Julia Rionette DiMarzio.
Yetzi Villegas Batista.
The degree of Bachelor of Science is awarded posthumously to Emily M. Pellerin. Accepting the degree are her best friends, Hannah and Mia Caraba.
Leah Rose Trask, cum laude.
Theodora J. Aboud, magna cum laude.
Julia S. Duggan, cum laude.
Victoria Parham, magna cum laude.
Haru Bellwood.
Lean Abudale.
Shay E. Stokes.
Allison G. Milgett.
Elizabeth L. Shaw, cum laude.
Hannah J. O'Connor.
Kelly E. Dwyer.
Kanwal F. Jafari.
Kelsey N. Kingman.
Kayla L. Miranda.
Anna M. Mansour, magna cum laude.
Olivia Alexandria Guest.
Now announcing graduates from elementary education, Emma Corey Poplowski, summa cum laude.
Linda L. Cali.
Brianna A. Cheres.
Yasmin M. Soto, cum laude.
Kaylee R. Lapiori.
Brittany Thado.
Quinlan S. Hunt, cum laude.
Joselie Pedia.
Felicia M. Framatino.
Hannah M. Apiapoku.
Elizabeth Campbell, magna cum laude.
Shernika S. Septates.
Autumn Elizabeth Teta, magna cum laude.
Anita Asante.
Kristen Baloo.
Daniela A. Frimpong, cum laude.
Jacqueline A. Gray, magna cum laude.
Esther Osafro Konadu, cum laude.
Diana Restrepo.
Brianna Haley Lori Parker.
Kylie Kamon, cum laude.
Akia A. Tom.
Thank you. Madison E. Lima, magna cum laude.
Colleen M. Ward.
Rachel M. Bigelow, cum laude.
Marcus N. Vaz.
Isaac S. Christensen.
Calvin M. Ea.
Now announcing the graduates from Liberal Studies, Gloriana Switzer, summa cum laude.
Johnny Cam Nguyen.
Mark Kendi Paul.
Now announcing the graduates from Sociology, Ibrahim Abdi Muse.
Julia Ravanelli, summa cum laude.
Eric J. Abreu, magna cum laude.
Alana Dolores Garfolio.
Molly Ann
Summa cum laude.
Molly Ann Glynn, cum laude.
Giselle Corrine Castro, magna cum laude.
Samantha Karen Feinstein.
Kali N. Corbe, summa cum laude.
Elizabeth K. Pinard.
Janelle M. Priest.
Kirsten A. Murray.
John M. Gibbons.
Elizabeth G. Mendez.
Sarah K. Stepien.
Elvana Gaji, magna cum laude.
Sarah F. Rivera.
Nia Divardo Guzman, magna cum laude.
Aaron D. Husbo.
Zelina B. Pina.
Yasmin B. Aliyo.
Quiaja Cooley.
Shannon M. Quinlan.
Adama Jalal.
Lauren P. Cummins.
Now announcing the graduates from Spanish. Marisa Diana Lucchini, summa cum laude.
Alyssa Eileen Valles.
Aisling Marie Tiernan.
Nicole Ann Swavelli.
Gregory A. Martinez, summa cum laude.
Mustafa Dunkley.
Natalie E. Vargas.
Wyatt B. Lucia.
Now announcing the graduates from theater. Bridget F. Campbell, summa cum laude.
Maria M. Sueves Bennett.
Bella Lorraine M. Carey Hicks, summa cum laude.
Melissa J. Cutler.
Thea T. Ray. Now announcing the graduates from Urban Studies. Melanie E. Rydell, cum laude.
Gina Marie Paquette.
Nicole Elizabeth Hart.
Alyssa L. Allen.
Ivy M. Pacheco.
Leah Gallipo.
Now announcing the graduates from Visual and Performing Arts. Emily Nina Lena Parrish.
Jeffrey F. Frank.
Logan Francis Hamsey.
Esmeralda A. Mays.
Abigail M. Snopowski, magna cum laude.
Mystique Kavanaugh.
Trang D. Yuong, magna cum laude.
Ian T. Scarlett.
Daniel Outerson. Brent J. Lighton Jr. Jonathan R. Payne. Julian J. Wagner, magna cum laude.
Degrees will now be presented to graduates who are seated on the stage and to the class marshals. Please come forward as you are called. Student trustee Anna Passion Johnson, sociology and political science major, cum laude. Members of the class committee, Charles Nathaniel Bray, biotechnology. Emily Pearl Hamparian, elementary ed and English, cum laude. Raisa Okitenge, computer science, cum laude. Jacob David Labanti, biology, magna cum laude. Ariana Ray Jason, cum laude, occupational studies. Jessica Kristen Wicks, communication. I now call forward Kurt Correa, class of 2016, President of the Alumni Association Advisory Board, and class of 22 chair, Jacob Labanti, for the ceremonial passing of the alumni flag.
Class of 2022, congratulations. Will all Worcester State alumni in the audience and on stage please rise? Will all graduates please rise? It is my honor to have passed this flag, symbolizing your transition from students to alumni. The class marshals will now lead all graduates in turning of your tassels from right to left, an act symbolizing recipient of your undergraduate degree. Welcome to the Worcester State University family. Congratulations.
I respectfully request that graduates and their guests remain standing at their seats until the recessional, the platform party, faculty, administrators have exited the arena. Please be aware that students will be exiting up the stairs through the second floor. Please honor them by letting them pass before you leave your seat. And it's a great honor and privilege to say, congratulations, class of 2022.